coming up this week on the center of it all. Though the weather can't seem to make up its mind, we are looking forward to the warmer months ahead, which means ice cream, and how you can keep your pet safe when you start those warm outside hikes again. And Mel is cooking up what is still to this day one of my favorite burgers. All that and more. Don't go anywhere. The center of it all starts right now. Welcome to the center of it all. We are in the beautiful town of Bellefonte this morning, and while the sun isn't out for good, we are getting a glimpse here and there. Now we show you what you have to look forward to if you are in the Clearfield area when the sun does come out for good. It started out as a way to fund a race car hobby, but soon David Duke turned in his race car for an old Lance cracker truck, and after weeks of remodeling both the inside and outside, it became the ice cream truck most people in Clearfield are familiar with today. He offers a variety of summer treats like Hershey's hand-dipped ice cream, Minions, chocolate tacos, and a flavor of the week. But out of everything, his favorite flavor?
I like cotton candy.
He's been in business for over 35 years, going out 5 nights a week, taking his truck to Clearfield neighborhoods, senior apartment complexes, community festivals, and the Clearfield Hospice Chili Bowl, where he donates the proceeds back to hospice. And after doing this for so long, people know where he's supposed to be, when, and on what days.
Chased me down the street for a couple blocks.
He says it's fun to be part of their summer memories and all the kids enjoy when he comes around.
You know, kids like it. They're always smiles and everything.
He's been doing it for so long that for some, it's not just summer until they see the truck and hear the jingle.
You know, if you ask the people with whom he's served over the years, that they, you know, it's part of the community, it's part of their summer. It's like they look forward to seeing him. You know, it's not summer without seeing him.
He really does this all for the kids and for the community. It adds a little bit of uniqueness to the Clearfield area, and he likes to give back to the community he grew up in. And even when the sun goes down and the chilly weather starts to creep back in at the end of the summer, that isn't the end for this ice cream truck.
We'll be in a grocery store in the middle of winter and people will get out, ice cream man, and the kids will say, ice cream man.
Along with 35 years has come many laughs and memories. He says kids have tried to pay him with things like marbles, rocks, and even kittens. His favorite memory, when a young boy tried to pay him with Monopoly money and said he could give change back in real money. That boy is grown now with kids of his own, but to this day, they still share that memory together. And that's one of the things he's been able to see. His customers grow into adults and then bring their children for ice cream.
I've been doing it so long that the kids I started with, they have kids now.
And that makes him more than just the man with the ice cream truck.
He's just beyond their ice cream man. I think a lot of them will say he's more like a friend.
And he sees everyone in the community as his friend as well. And he has a message for them. He said, "I am grateful for the loyalty and the friendship of everyone who has supported the ice cream truck over the years. They are truly the reason I am still doing it after 35 years. When we come back, we show you how you can prepare to take your furry friend out with you on your spring hikes. Welcome back. Now, when you go hiking, you pack everything you need in your backpack, but have you ever thought about your pet? We sat down with a few veterinarians to see what you may want to have on hand.
It's really important to get outside and get some exercise with your pets. It's good for people, it's good for pets. And I wanted people to have some tools so that they can have fun, but do so safely and avoid some common emergencies that I see in my profession. Minor lacerations, sprains, strains, heat exhaustion and dehydration are pretty big concerns too.
The best thing that you could do is actually monitor your animal. Watch for panting that's uncontrolled, that they seem to be panting very heavily.
If they are slowing down,
watch for them to show signs of being tired, sitting down, not really wanting to continue to pursue. Instead of being interested in their surroundings, they start to stand exclusively by you and walk with you instead of venturing out and being interested in things.
If they seem at all weak, you need to give your pet a break, get them some water. And if they're not recovering, that's a time to seek veterinary care.
Those are all signs that an animal's tired and maybe overheating as well.
For most pets, getting them a drink, giving them a chance to rest, and calling it a day, they're probably going to be fine.
There's 3 main vaccines that when we're talking about dogs that we worry about prior to any time that they're out in public. The first would be the rabies vaccine, which is required by state law. That is definitely something that in the wild you're going to encounter, some type of animal that could have rabies. Any mammal could have rabies. So having that rabies vaccine is definitely protective and necessary. The other 2 vaccines aren't required by law, but they're definitely recommended. The first would be what's commonly called the distemper vaccine, which is actually a combination of 4 to 5 diseases that are in one vaccination. And the other one is the Lyme vaccine. Lyme disease is relatively prevalent in this area, so we are recommending most dogs that go outside have the Lyme disease vaccine as well. There is a vaccine actually for rattlesnake bites. So having a vaccination for rattlesnakes is something that if you're aware that rattlesnakes are in that area, your pet should have.
If your pet is the type to go after porcupines, you may want to consider keeping them on a leash, especially spring and fall when they're more active.
Whether it be bee stings or porcupine quills or cuts from running through things, having a small first aid kit is not a bad idea, so that you can clean a wound, a little bit of antibacterial soap, some little gauze to stop bleeding. Those types of things can often be helpful. Carry Benadryl. You don't have to, but if your pet comes in contact with a bee or a plant that it is slightly allergic to, you may have swelling, hives, those types of things. Benadryl can help to reduce that. Now, your veterinarian has to tell you the dose and has to tell you if it's okay technically.
You have seen your primary care vet, get your pet in for a checkup and talk about what your pet needs based on their risk level. Probably the most important thing, especially over the summer, to take with you is extra water for your pet. Dehydration, heat stress can set in pretty quickly and your pet may not tell you some of the early warning signs.
Don't underestimate your dog's needs for water. Oftentimes, folks don't drink much themselves, so they assume their pet doesn't need the water otherwise. But it absolutely, your pet needs more water than you do. Animals that are experienced hikers that go out frequently, less breaks are necessary. The animals that are just starting, giving breaks every 20 to 30 minutes so that you can ensure that the pet isn't becoming overheated and that they're getting what they need would be the best way to approach it.
What kind of conditions you're in, especially heat, humidity, and other things like your pet's age and just how used to outdoor activity they are.
Keeping them on a leash is always safer. Now, honestly, everyone knows their pet better than we would at this point. And, if an owner feels comfortable taking them off the leash, if they know their surroundings, if they have good control, that's a decision that they can make. But if you're anywhere near a road, or if you're in an environment that you don't know, like it could be different wildlife there, a leash is always safer.
So leashes can protect your pet and protect other animals and people around you, just depending on your dog's personality and what they're used to. It's important to know leash laws with the area that you're in.
When we come back, we still have warm weather on our mind with the help of Mel, as she shows us how to grill the perfect burger. Welcome back to the center of it all. Now, I like thinking about warmer weather because I love everything that comes along with it, including grilling. This week, I'm sharing my favorite burger recipe Mel has prepared during my time here at WHVL. Let's take a look.
Born on the bayou? Well, I wasn't. And despite all those pretty posies and exotic birds, it's those snakes and alligators that keep me from wanting to visit there. That said, plenty of Creoles and Cajuns call this mysterious outreach of Louisiana home, and they cook some of the most fantastic one-pot, one-skillet meals. Join me for a few minutes this morning while I show you how to make my Bayou pork burgers with Ragin' Cajun remoulade. And it's a lot like our cocktail sauce, in that it's served chilled and it's used to accompany or dress cold meats, poultry, or fish dishes. Now, the Cajun Creole people, which are French in heritage, they've jazzed theirs up just a bit, and they'll add Creole mustard, horseradish, smoked paprika, and cayenne for heat. And in this container, I've got 1.5 cups of chili powder, 1/2 cup of Louisiana Creole mustard, 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of horseradish, a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, a full tablespoon of smoked paprika, and a full teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And I'm going to put all of this in the work bowl of my food processor, and you can smell this smoked paprika. I'm going to turn this on for about 10-15 seconds. Adding 1/2 cup of vegetable oil slowly through the feed tube. This is just going to make it emulsify and thicken up. This looks perfect. Perfect. It's glistening and it's thick. I've transferred my remoulade sauce to the bowl, and I'm going to add almost 1 cup of fresh parsley. Just picked that out of my garden this morning. Almost 1 cup of diced celery. About 1/2 cup of green onions. And about 1/2 cup of white onion. Give this a really good mix. Now I've got 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, and I'm going to add about 1 cup of my remoulade. This is classic Creole remoulade. We're making it Cajun by adding some mayonnaise to it. And I'm just going to stir this together. This is going to be the topping for our pork burgers. Looks wonderful, smells wonderful, nice and creamy, great texture. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with this a little bit later. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and it's time to put our pork burgers together. These Bayou pork burgers are a lot of fun to make. And a pork loin left untrimmed when ground has just enough fat on it to grill up a thick, juicy burger that will rival any beef burger that you've ever eaten. I've got 1.5 pounds of tenderloin. I've left all of the fat on the outside of it, and I've cubed it, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch cubes, no rules there. I'm going to put all these in the work bowl of my food processor. And a food processor is a wonderful way to grind all of your meats. I grind a lot of beef in my food processor as well. Put the lid on. Put the lid on. We're going to use some rapid on-off pulses. I use about 25 or 30. That meat is coarsely browned and perfect. It's beautiful. I'm just going to put this in a bowl. And there's no reason to wash your work bowl here. It's still very food safe. I'm adding peppers and onions. I've got half a cup of white onion and a half a cup of yellow and red bell pepper. Now you can use green and red bell pepper if that's what you really want to do, but I really like the subtle taste of these sweet peppers better with pork than I do the green and red. Let's add these to the work bowl. And again, with the pulses, about the same, 15-20 this time. Vegetables perfectly minced in a short period of time. Just add these. Meat. It wouldn't be Ragin' Cajun without a tablespoon of Cajun seasoning, a generous tablespoon of Cajun seasoning, and a half teaspoon of Tabasco. Everybody loves Tabasco. Okay, I think I'm going to put 3/4 of it. Now girls, don't wear your jewelry when you're making these. There's only one way to mix this meat, and that's to put your hands in it. Looks pretty, smells delicious. Want to get it really thoroughly mixed. This takes just a minute or two. Now, it's going to feel a little bit looser than a typical hamburger mixture, but do not fret, and do not be tempted to add an egg or breadcrumbs or any kind of binder, because there's one thing about pork. When we turn this into 4 even-sized patties, it is going to cook up on the grill just like a burger will. I've got 4 beautiful pork burgers here. I'm going to turn my stove on to medium-high heat. I'm using a grill pan. You can use a cast iron skillet. You can put these out on your gas grill. Do them any way you want to do them. I'm going to place all of these to the pan. If you have a grill pan that fits over double burners, you can make 8 of these at once. I'm going to let these cook for exactly 6 minutes per side, turning them only once. Exactly 6 minutes. They'll be perfect when they're done. "12 minutes is up. Pork burgers are cooked. Get them off of our grill pan or our grill. Let's head over to the counter and put these babies on some buns. So what did I do with the rest of that remoulade sauce that I made? Well, I stirred in some mayonnaise, and then I chopped up some Holy Trinity: celery, onion, bell pepper. I tossed it all together with some cooked pasta, and I made some Holy Trinity remoulade and Creole macaroni salad to go with our Ragin' Cajun pork burgers. For these and all of my recipes, just go to my website.
When we come back, we show you a place you can hang out in the meantime while we wait for this weather to welcome spring. Welcome back. If you're looking to get out of your house but still stay indoors during these chilly spring days we've been having, then an art studio in Phillipsburg could be your next go-to place. Two Painting Broads is just as unique as its name. The art studio was started about 2 years ago by two art-loving friends who wanted to bring creativity into their community.
We just never dreamed that it would take off as much as it did. So within a couple of months, we decided we needed our own space, and we rented a smaller studio, and we're there for a year. We've been here on Front Street in Phillipsburg for the last several months. We started in September.
What makes them different? Well, if you want to get involved, you don't have to come to their studio. They can pack up their supplies, hit the road, and come to you.
We can offer a painting party for any occasion at all. And we can throw some canvases in the car and we can come to you and we can have a great time in your garage or in your church or in your sportsman's club, or wherever you want to have a party. We can come and we can provide that for you.
But if you do live in Phillipsburg, they offer a range of classes daily. Things for adults, kids, even babies.
We offer lots of kids classes. Almost every Wednesday night we have Art Zone Kids for school-age kids. And a couple of times throughout the month we have Paint With Me, which is for the babies from birth to probably 3 or 4 years old. During the week at night is usually an adult class. So like ages 15 and up, you come and we all paint the same painting together and everybody leaves with their own masterpiece. But we do all kinds of stuff.
And the nice thing about this studio, you don't have to be an artist or even have any artistic ability to come and have a good time.
The one thing that we do like to stress with everyone is this is fun. We don't expect everyone to leave here as a Picasso, and we're for all levels. We have people who come in here and do amazing work and then are not happy. The one thing that we hear a lot from people is, I can't even draw a stick figure. So my reply is always, well, that's good because we don't do that here.
They wanted to give people something to do in their own community, a way to come together with new people, new faces, and just paint.
We are definitely grateful, and we are so thankful for the support that we've received from Phillipsburg and the surrounding community. We hope that we provide another opportunity for people to stay in town and find something to do here in town, something fun and unique.
For them, it was a simple passion of bringing joy to others through the use of art that brought their studio to life.
The best part about it is seeing people's reactions at the end of the night when they can look at what they've created and be really excited that they were able to spend time with their friends and family, and everybody walks away with a prize at the end of the night. We want them to come and feel comfortable. We want them to feel relaxed. We want them to be excited to think about what they're going to create when they come in. We want them to leave with satisfaction knowing that there's something to do in Phillipsburg, something different and unusual and not something that's been done here before.
And they hope that through paint, canvas, and a brush, they can bring something positive to their community.
Just another way for us to spread light and love throughout the community and be able to give a little bit back.
That wraps up this week's Center of It All. Before I go, I do have one more thing to say though. This will be my last show hosting the Center of It All here on WHVL-TV. Thank you so much for letting me get to know your town, your community, and the wonderful members in them the last 2 years. Thank you for letting me come into your home every Sunday morning. I'm Alicia Facer. Until next time.